What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. We are live. We are live. We are live. And as you can see, Phenom is here, but he's really not here. But trust me, he'll be joining us shortly. But man, Hollywood's in the building, man. We got this segment that you guys know we do. I love the 80s. So we're going to go ahead and kick this segment off, man. The year is 1983. I'm excited about this because it's starting
first, man. Dog, how you doing, man? You just jumping. How you doing, man?
I'm going to get to you, man. If you give me a second. So I'm excited. This year, 1983, because it's coming closer to stuff that I remember and recognize. Ali, how do you feel about this, man? 1983. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good today, man. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, a little bit tired. I was doing more fucking soccer dad stuff, practices and some other things, like going from swim to soccer to some basketball with the other one, man. So that's why if I'm a little down, man, like I've been on a run ever since I got off. But I'm here. I'm here.
Hey, man, I'm glad you're here. I know how it is, man. Just it's to be doing a thing sometimes, man. That's just how it is sometimes,
Yeah.
But we're all running, man. But you know what's good? You guys have made it here. As always, thank you guys so much for joining. So just a quick rundown. I mean, we got some people in the chat that have joined us. Mama Bear, Karen, Chicago Cubs, Carter. Appreciate y'all coming as always. I mean, always good stuff. And look who just shows up, man. Right on time, man. Right on cue. Phenom 202. What's going on, brother?
Technology, man. Phenom 202, D-Day representative. Let's get into 1983, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, man, let's do it. All right, so you guys know, man, I got a couple of notes of things that some major players, some major things that happened in 1983. So let's get kicked off with one of the first things that happened in 1983, man. So let's go ahead and get kicked off with that. Here we go, man. National Lampoon's Vacation. And I didn't even know. I was such a fan of Christmas Vacation that I didn't even know National Lampoon's Vacation came out in 1983, man. So this is the classic family comedy starring Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, where the Griswolds take a road trip across country to go to Wally World. And this is so funny because I didn't see this until much, much later in my years, but this shit was funny as hell. And I didn't even know until I watched it later that John Candy was in this film because he was the security guard at Wally World. Great film, man. Do you remember this film?
Oh, for sure, yeah. This is one of my favorite growing up. Of course, I saw a little bit later. I ain't seen it in 83. I saw a little bit later on.
Same.
It was a classic family vacation. Load up the station wagon and get going. It's funny because now Wally World has a whole new meaning. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Whistle Mart. Like, you know what I mean? You be like, I'm going to Wally World. That means you're going to Walmart nowadays, which is
exactly.
Which is just as crazy as going to Wally Worlds with nobody. But everything with the movie, man. Of course, you had the crazy scene with Krista Brinkley in the pool.
Love that scene, yo. That's a good scene.
Yeah, and this just set it off for European Vacation. The European Vacation is really, really my one. That's the one.
That's funny. European Vacation is funny. Especially in the tip on European Vacation when they keep running to the guy with the bicycle and he keeps getting hurt worse and worse as the movie goes along. Funny, man. Great movie. Phenom, do you remember National Lampoon's Vacation? And also in this one is Ed, cousin Eddie. He's in this one. I can't remember his name. It skips my name. But go ahead, Phenom. What you thoughts about Christmas Vacation?
Yo, funny, yo. It was used to be a saying, yo, when people let you down, yo, disappointment like Wally World did the Griswolds, yo. Driving all cross country.
That's a hell of a trip, but that should be closed.
I know.
They got in there, though. That's the shit. Would you go in there? You drive all these miles, get there, shit closed. You just go in there and start doing your own thing, yo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But no, it was a good movie, man. It was one of those first family movies that I remember that had a lot of hijinks in it. The neighbors.
Too many. Who go ahead? What?
Oh, the neighbors was crazy. The family members was crazy. Everybody was crazy.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't remember the guy's name because he showed up at Christmas time. I think it was Eddie.
Randy Quaid. Was it Randy Quaid?
Quaid, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Man, his family. Oh man, hilarious show.
And then also somebody, I forgot all about that. And then she died and tied her ass to the roof. I was like, yo, that was
yes.
Yeah, shout out Johnny Basement. Yeah, that was
because
crazy,
they thought she was asleep in the back seat all that time.
Just put on the roof and like fuck it.
Yeah, I know, yo. They were like, we ain't got time, yo. We ain't got time. What about when he forgot the dog and he had the dog hooked onto the bumper in the back when they were at the gas station and drove off?
Drove off. Oh, crazy, yo.
Crazy.
Oh, that shit was stupid, yo.
Yeah,
yes.
classic movie, man. And somebody put in here that he had a BB gun when he stuck John Candy up at Wally World. Yeah. Brandon said that. It was a BB gun. Yeah, it was a BB gun. And that's crazy. Yeah. Great movie, man. Great movie, man. It's definitely a classic which spawned off a lot of other classics that we know, like UMP Vacation, Christmas Vacation.
Yeah,
Vegas Vacation is okay. To me, it stops at the Christmas Vacation. That's like
Christmas. Yeah, and then they did that reboot. That reboot was trash. So y'all ride roller coasters when you hit the theme parks?
Yeah.
Oh,
I used to.
Oh no, I'm not asking. Do you still do it? I don't know.
Do I still do it? Nah, I don't do it anymore, yo. Nah, I don't do it anymore.
I don't lie, yo. I went to. And the last thing it was last year. Was son's birthday. We took a couple of kids to join. I rode all the roller coasters. But I think at the end of that one, I was like, yo, you know what? This is too much for me, man. I was feeling like I was about to be dying on a couple of them joints. So I was like, yo, this ain't. It's fun, but it ain't the same type of fun. Like, I like being scared, but now I'm like, yo, I'm too old. My heart start fluttering and shit. I'm like, I'm gonna have a heart attack on this. Like, nah, I think I might be done with roller coasters right now, man.
Yo, it's something about getting older and roller coasters. The two just don't mix. You know, it's like your body be like, I ain't for the thrill no more. You know, my heart can't take it.
Now, as many times as we went to Kings Dominion over the years in Busch Gardens, loved it. We got on every ride back to back. Now, man, it feel like your brain just be moving around in your head when you get off of it, you get vertigo and shit. I just sit down eating cotton candy, yo. That's what I do. I sit on the side. Like, my kids is old enough I could just chill and they just walk the whole theme park. I ain't gotta worry about it.
So that's the whole problem. My son, he ain't old enough to ride by himself and shit. So I was like, man, I'll do it. Struggling, but go ahead, man. My bad, right?
Nah, you good, man. You good. So let's go to another movie that was a big hit in 1983. Actually, this movie was the highest grossing movie in 1983, and that was Return of the Jedi. Star Wars, man. The George Lucas, even though he didn't direct it, you know, it's always George Lucas influence. So Return of the Jedi was the actual highest grossing movie in 1983, the third film of the original Star Wars trilogy. And the premise of it is many years after Han Solo has been captured, Luke enters Jabba the Hutt's palace to help rescue Han Solo as well as confront Vader one more time to try to turn him from the dark side. Look, man, this everybody knows about Star Wars. This was actually the very first Star Wars that I saw in full length. But by the time I saw it, it was when it came out on VHS, which was probably 1985. But this was the very first one that I actually remember. And then I went back and watched the other ones. What are y'all thoughts about this movie, man? I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love this movie. We'll go with you, Phenom, man. Do you remember this movie, and what are your thoughts about it?
I love this movie. I'll take that back. I like this movie.
Okay.
I don't love it. Only because I thought, you know, this was the introduction to the Ewoks.
The Ewoks. I knew you was gonna bring that up.
You know what I'm saying?
It was horrible.
It was campy, too campy for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I did like about the movie is Jabba the Hutt, Han Solo frozen, getting unthawed. We actually get to see Darth Vader's face, and then he mutters the line to Luke. You know what I'm saying?
I am your father.
Nah, that's in part 2.
Oh, was it? No,
when did he take off his mask, yo?
When he took off his mask, he
was about to die.
Just said, now I can see you with my own eyes.
That's what it was, yo. Luke, I Your Father is in 2.
Yeah,
that's in 2.
Right.
Yeah.
All them shits run together, yo. This shit was trash, yo. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as good as it's supposed to be, but you know, they made just like with the Griswolds and National Lampoons. They gonna just milk it because everybody want to see it. Then now the trilogy falls off, it comes back, falls off, and comes back, and I don't think they've got it right since like the second one.
Since the original trilogy.
Yeah. I mean, they've had okay ones, but they haven't got one that's like, yo, this is like blockbuster.
So let me ask you, out of the original trilogy, Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, which one of those is your favorite?
2.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, Empire Strikes Back.
It's definitely the best one.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. Yeah.
I mean,
so what are your thoughts on Return of the Jedi, Ali, man? There's definitely one good thing about Return of the Jedi that I do like, but I'll get to that in a second.
I ain't the lie. I agree. I'm like, this is definitely like my least favorite out of the bunch.
Phenom, definitely don't like it.
No, I'm still here, yo. Don't talk no shit about me. I can hear you.
But yeah. I mean, with the Ewoks thing, I mean, you know what? They did that to sell some toys and what have you, lunch boxes and all that. But I mean, it does have some good scenes, like as far as like them saving Hans. Like, I mean, that's just classic. You know what I mean? That's
that whole intro is classic. Yeah,
that's super classic. So, I mean, it has some good parts and bad parts. It's just my least favorite out the group. Like, it's not one I go back to, and I definitely don't sit through the whole thing.
For me, Empire, Return of the Jedi.
Mute yourself real quick.
Like Return of the Jedi, the second one is my favorite. I do like Return of the Jedi. There are 2 things in Return of the Jedi there's one thing in Return of the Jedi that I really like, and there's one thing I really don't like. The one thing in Return of the Jedi that I really like is we got the introduction to Star Wars bikini. So this is the first time we really get to see Princess Leia kind of dressed in her little slave outfit. Lord. Dude, when I was a kid, I thought that was the best shit ever. But the one thing about Star Wars I hated was how Boba Fett, how he died. That was the wackest shit I ever saw in my life, in the Sarlacc pit. I thought that was really whack. Like, that became a line, like, for Star Wars people, like, you got Boba Fetted, because it was so whack the way he got killed, It was like he was the shit, and he got killed because Han knocked him into the Sarlacc pit. So I didn't like that growing up. But other than that, man, I thought the movie was true.
Or what's that? But but just Star Wars in general, I mean, it's definitely, what can you say about it? It's one of the greatest franchises ever.
It definitely is, man.
And I mean, at the time they wrapped this up, I don't even know if they thought it was ever going to come back, but I mean, they did their thing, man.
In all honesty, George Lucas says, but I know he didn't. I know he probably planned it, but there's no way he could have actually thought it was going to come back. But I'm glad it did, me personally. But there's another movie that had war in it. I mean, we had Star Wars, but there's another movie that came out in 1983 that was really big, man. And the movie was called War Games. I know. I remember this shit. War Games. Great movie. Starred Matthew Broderick. I think this is before or right around the time when Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't quite know because I never watched
Ferris Bueller was later.
Later, okay. Yeah. So the whole premise of this movie is this kid taps into a government computer to play global nuclear war games. And this is when you get the line, shall we play a game? That's when they say that in the movie. And in this movie taught us, man, that you can solve global warfare by playing a simple game of tic-tac-toe. This is what this movie showed us, man. But I really enjoyed this game. This movie. Phoenix, do you remember this movie, man? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I actually watched it last year, yo.
Really? War Games?
Yeah. It came on TV. I caught it at the beginning. I was like, this is not a good movie, yo.
Really? You didn't think War Games was a good movie?
Not now.
Okay. Maybe looking back at it. Okay.
But even then, I wasn't even too. I mean, I watched it back in the day, and I wasn't like, "Oh my gosh, this is the greatest shit on world." I was like,
"Really? I really enjoyed it. Damn, that's crazy."
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I like War Games, though.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie.
It was fire. And then, like you said, of course, everybody knows they went to the classic playing the tic-tac-toe,
That was
and
it.
they could, it was like there couldn't be a winner. So that's when he decided not to go ahead and nuke everything. So keep that in mind now, folks, with all this AI shit going on. When it comes down to it, we don't get saved by tic-tac-toe. So keep that shit in your back pocket. Ready to throw that shit up and be like,
That's it, yo. A game of tic-tac-toe will solve everything. Really. Yeah. That's what this movie taught us, yo. Play a game of tic-tac-toe because there's no winners. Okay. Because that's what the computer really figured out. He was like, okay, there's no winners in this game, so the best thing to do is not to play. And then the computer shut down. Yeah, this is crazy. But I love that shit, though. I thought it was a good movie. But you know what also was a good movie that didn't shut down and was the 4th highest grossing movie in 1983? Fucking Trading Places, yo. Starring Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. This movie rushed it at the box office. And if you read that tagline at the bottom, it says they're not just getting rich, they're getting even. Because the premise of this movie, man, is Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd are the stars of the film, and a snobbish investor, which is Dan Aykroyd, and a witty street con artist, which is Eddie Murphy, find themselves in positions reversed as part of a bet by 2 Alice millionaires. Man, this shit was so good. Freaking love Trading Places, yo.
Thank what you, Corey Chat GPT. Like Corey, AI.
I'm reading it.
I know. I just say that description just sounds so much like a. So
dude, I just read it.
I mean, fuck with that. See, we know what the movie is. We saw the movie. Trading Places is the most classic movie ever. You got my man Mortimer and what's the other one? Randolph ruining my man Dan Aykroyd's life over a $1 bet.
$1 bet. Yep.
You know what I mean? So I mean, just for the get-go, like Eddie Murphy, like out there hustling. He was like, he ain't had no legs. Like what's his ass up? Like,
he was blind too.
Yeah, he was blind. Yeah, once he got
he was like, it's a miracle. I can see.
Yeah. So I mean, I love that movie, man. And like Corey was the horn dog on Star Wars. I delight the horn dog. I mean, this is like one of the first times I saw breastises like that, yo. Curtis. Yeah, because I was like,
yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it was man, Jamie Lee, boy, woo, she was getting real grown in this movie.
I was watching this movie when I was little. I was like this, yo.
Yeah,
looking at Jamie Lee Curtis just like that, yo. But
I know it was.
Woo. I go for it. Trading Places and True Lies, yo. She was kind of all right in them.
True Lies, Jamie Lee Curtis. Come on, yo, what you talking about? Hell
yeah. But back to this, yo. This movie is like Eddie Murphy was gold in the 80s. We already say it all the time. But this one, the comedic chops that he had, just the way he was when he first got on, and he couldn't believe all the shit he got. You know what I'm saying? And then Dan Aykroyd, he couldn't understand it. Like, unhand me. Like, he go to the the club, and all his people were just like shunning him and shit. So I'm trying to figure out how everybody, like, just kind of was everybody in on it, or how did they get that information? I can't never remember why they was shunning him at the club, because he fell off. He had on the pimp's clothes. Jamie Lee Curtis got him out the joint. Know what I'm saying?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I just can't remember, yo.
I can't remember that either.
He got arrested when he did the Santa Claus.
No, he got because he went to jail.
Clothes. He went to jail. Yeah, they cut off all his stuff.
Yeah, so he went to jail, but that's when he came out of jail, and Jamie Lee Curtis, because the homegirl bailed him out. Then Jamie Lee Curtis came up and kissed him, and she ran away, and she got in a cab with him.
Yeah, but that was they paid her to do that.
They paid her to do it.
Yeah, and all that. So
yeah. But no, it was a great movie. Was great, funny movie.
I'm wondering why they didn't do movies together more, because their timing, they were so good together, so good. They could have done countless movies together as a duo. Really, they could have. I mean, of course, Dan Aykroyd is good in a lot of movies he's with when he teams up with somebody else, but this was a winning combo, man. I would have loved to seen them do another movie, but especially the way it ended with them being on the boat and you know, them on the beach.
And, like, how are you? Boy, he was like, looking good, Lewis.
Looking good, like, Lewis.
He's like, feeling good, Billy. William, no, feeling good, William. Yeah, I forgot. He went from Billy to William. So you already know. Oh yeah,
but you know what's funny?
Chicago's closed. When you said, of course, they did definitely work together. Saturday Night Live. So I'm sure they already had like chemistry. That chemistry. They were definitely, there was definitely a good combo.
Definitely had the chemistry, man.
I got a question, yo, because I for some reason when you said Dan Aykroyd, how much that they didn't work together, I just Googled a movie that Dan Aykroyd was in. It came out in '83. Actually, it was Dr. Detroit. You remember what? Have you ever seen Dr. Detroit?
Yeah,
oh my God, I've seen it. Yeah, when he got the glove on, like a metal glove.
Yeah, he was like a pimp.
He was a pimp, yo.
He was a pimp.
Oh my God, and good at the same time, yo.
Yes, it's a hilariosity. You know, it's hilarious and an atrocity at the same time. You know, this shit is good but bad. But yes, Dr. Detroit. I totally forgot about that, yo.
Yeah, Dr. Detroit.
How you pull that shit out of your head, yo?
Because when you said Dan Aykroyd, I wanted to see what else he was in at that time because he did Trading Places in Dr. Detroit that same.
Yeah, but a couple people mentioned a couple things that. Look at that, the gorilla handler. Future Senator Al Franken. Yo, he got kicked out, but we still love him. You know, he was a comedian anyway. It's crazy. He went from comedian.
He used to look on Saturday Night Live. He used to look in the mirror and be like, "I love myself."
Yeah, I love myself. Yeah. And then
the affirmation mirror. Yeah.
And my man, he was like, "I'm a crowded man."
When he was in jail. He was in jail with Giancarlo Esposito too, yo. Gus
really?
Fring,
Big Brother Almighty
he was in jail with him, yo.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Wow, man, this was a great movie, man. I would have loved them to come out with a part 2. They hinted at it later in the 80s and Coming to America, which I think is like 88.
Yeah,
when he gave him the money on the street.
That was a fire callback. You know, like, Waterman, we're back in business.
It isn't Nordberg. I'm not speaking to you. That was a good callback. Yeah, I thought they were going to come out with another Trading Place. I was like, oh shit, you know, maybe. But you know, this is a great movie, man. So this movie made it in a way of these millionaires working their way. But you kind of think about it, man. Randolph and Mortimer, they're criminals, man, in a way, but on Wall Street. And you know who else was a criminal that made his way to the top, which was a high rating movie in 1983? Scarface. Scarface, man, motherfucking Al Pacino. Story of Tony Montana and his rise to becoming the drug lord that we know as Scarface, given one of the most iconic lines I've ever heard, and we all know, say hello to my little friend. We've talked about gangster movies, and this definitely came up. I did not know Scarface came out in 1983, but this is when Al Pacino, he's firing on all cylinders by now, because he'd already been in The Godfather, and now he's playing Scarface. This movie is long, but if you haven't watched it, watch this movie, yo. It's so good. It's really good, man. But I don't really have anything to say. It's got a lot of iconic scenes. I mean, just looking at Tony right here, I think this is close to near the end at this time when he's because this is the table when he has the whole pound of coke on the table before he snort the coke before the end.
Get high on your own supply, yo.
Yeah. This is a great movie, man. What are your thoughts about Scarface? I mean, I know y'all had a poster of it in Powhatan, remember, in ODU dorms?
Yeah,
it
was a good movie, man. I mean, like, and I'll say this. I say it's good because I'm never gonna say anything bad about it, but it's really not that good, yo. But it's great because I love the action, I love the scenes. The club scene when he shoot up the club, he gets shot, and then Frank sent him to kill him. He go see Frank with the sling on his arm. You know what I'm saying? At the club, and Frank was bartering for his life and all that stuff. He's like,
that's the joint where we had the picture because they were at the table with the tropical background.
Yeah, that shit was fine. But then killed his partner, yo, because he was banging his sister, yo. So Tony had a weird obsession with his sister, yo, because they was in the club. Sister was coked up. He was having sex in the bathroom.
He was definitely like, it was a weird thing.
It was kind of weird. Yeah, it was really weird.
Shout out to Al Pacino I don't even know if he's Italian or not, but he was playing the Cuban, like how's that Italiano playing the Cuban, you know what I mean? He came over here and went to work. Like his first gig, I mean, well, not his first
washing
gig,
dishes.
Washing dishes. But like when it first, like, yo, go meet the dude, like get the joint. They went to that hotel, his boys outside looking at the girls. He on the inside about to get sawed up, like with the chainsaw and stuff. Like it was wild, man.
Oh, that chainsaw scene was crazy.
Crazy.
Who was that in the bathroom with it? Was that his brother or something? Who was that? Just a friend?
No, it was his partner. Like he came over from Cuba with him.
Yeah,
they was doing crazy. A deal and they won't play it, yo.
Yeah,
nah, he
ended up killing the dude in the street. Dude ran out. He ended up killing him in the street, yo.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but the whole Scarface movie, it is definitely a classic, yo. It's a little crazy if you watch it back, like Phoenix, if you know what I'm saying. It's a little I don't want to say campy, but it is a little like you like, man, what the hell? But it was 83, man. You know what I mean?
It's 83. You know, I mean, it's 83.
Give her a Quaalude. She'll be back in the morning. Look at me. I'm the bad guy.
Do you think he went a little over the top? Do you think he went a little over the top in the way he was talking as Tony Montana? Like, you know, do you think maybe he went a little over the top?
Oh, yeah, no doubt, yo.
Because sometimes the way he talks, you know, it was like it's just the Cubans really talk like that. I wasn't sure, you know, but maybe that was what he was trying to portray as Tony, because he is playing a character. So I don't know. But either way, iconic character, iconic movie, Al Pacino, iconic actor, man. Can't get enough of that. So we got this movie that's on one side of the spectrum: guns, violence, drugs, women, sex. And now we're going to go to the popular sitcoms in 1983, which are not about drug, violence, sex, and women, but they're about the happy things in life, man. So we got two sitcoms we're going to talk about that were very popular in 1983. One of them is Family Ties, show starring Michael J. Fox and Justine Bateman on the other side. And this show was a huge hit in 1983 and catapulted the career of Michael J. Fox, even getting him the role that we know of him playing in Back to the Future. And also this show had a great theme song. Mm-hmm. Now we have Different Strokes, which was also baby? This was the year that it was at the height of the show, starring Gary Coleman, Ty Bridges. The stories about two black kids from Harlem, Arnold and Willis Jackson, are taken in by the rich white man, Mr. Drummond. And we're also introduced to the daughter Kimberly, which you also see there, and Mrs. Garrett, which is not in this photo, but she's the maid that winds up giving us the great spinoff that we know, Facts of Life. So two great shows, man, that came out in 1983. Do y'all remember these shows? What are your thoughts of these shows? Did you love these shows? Give me your thoughts, man.
Yeah, Alex P. Keaton, yo. Funny thing is, yo, I'm sitting here working and my cable was out. So I was using like the Prime TV, like the free shit. So they got a whole 1980s channel that plays nothing but 80s sitcoms, yo. Family Ties came on. I was like, oh shit. So I watched the episode of Family Ties, yo. Season 1, I believe, episode 4, yo. Alex P. Keaton was doing basically delivering groceries. This is before Amazon delivery and all this shit, yo.
Really?
So he was delivering groceries to a college girl. And the college girl was like, oh, you're not like other high school guys. Won't you come stay the night with me? And he ended up banging the college girl, yo.
What?
And then he go home. He was in love with her, came back. She had another dude in the crib, yo. Know what I'm saying? I never saw that episode, yo.
Wow. And that was in 1983.
1983. I think season 1, episode 4, yo.
Wow. That's crazy.
But it was, I mean, I think Michael J. Fox, he is Family Ties, yo. Everybody else was peripheral characters. They could have tried to be, the main characters, but nah, he steals the show every single time, yo.
Yeah, he was Family Ties. I mean, really, they could have replaced pretty much any other character on the show, the mom, the dad, the sisters. I mean, Justine Bateman was good, especially when she started talking to her boyfriend, the guy that was kind of like the street thug guy, which he was funny. Yeah. But Michael J. Fox was the show.
He was like an artist or something, right?
He was. I don't know. I don't remember. You might be right, but he had like the leather jacket. He kind of talked like Sylvester Stallone, almost like, but I really like that, man. But go ahead. You talk about Different Strokes, man. You didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, Different Strokes was, of course, a classic. Willis. What you talk about, Willis?
Willis.
Arnold, and then we got the Gooch. You know what I'm saying? My favorite character, even though we never saw him. But Damn, just cover me up, brother.
Whoops.
Oh yeah, just let it go. But yeah, I mean, Different Strokes is definitely a classic, man. My bad. You can go ahead, man. Different Strokes.
Go ahead, brother. What you doing?
Shout out to everybody. Like you said, Mr. Garrett, Mr. Drummond. It would definitely been nice to get adopted by some rich dude. You know what I mean? Nowadays, we probably look at that funny, you know, be like, why are you doing that? You know what I mean? But besides that, I mean, it was just a good show. Like, I really don't have too much more to say. Like, I had to lie. I mean, I've seen all these shows, but they weren't my favorite.
Man, I love Family Ties.
My favorite, so like,
and Angel said it best, man. Family Ties starts off, which I don't know if that was really Bob Ross, but the way the show starts off in the theme song, they're being painted as the show's going along. She said the joy of painting with Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Love that guy, man. Who didn't watch Bob Ross and just sit there and watch him paint for 30 minutes and feel that was ASMR before ASMR, yo, for real.
Yeah. The only thing he painted was forests and trees, yo. And that shit looked great every time, yo.
You know, happy mistakes is what he used to call it, or something like that. Happy accidents or whatever. But Bob Ross is the man. But I love the theme song of Family Ties. I'm telling y'all, go listen to that theme song. That shit is fire, yo. Yeah. And the theme song of Different Strokes is good too. Don't be slipping at that damn theme song.
Know, Different Strokes, man, it did tackle a lot of issues too. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just straight comedy. Because I think there was an episode where Willis got shot. You know what I'm saying? Didn't he get shot by a bully or something like that? Somebody got shot. I want to say that. But then, there was an episode where, like,
talking about Nancy Reagan?
No. What's the Arnold and Dudley, his friend Dudley? They was in like this white man apartment. He was trying to molest them, yo. He was giving them wine coolers and all that stuff, yo. Make him take off. You don't remember that episode?
Nah, that shit was that episode.
That was like a lesson learned. Like, yo, don't go nowhere with older white people, yo. It was crazy. Yo. Back in the day, my grandma was like, don't go stranger danger, yo. Stay away from kids, yo.
Yeah.
Stay away from them old people, yo. But no, I mean, I think shows back then always tried to put messages in it. Like I remember, I don't know when Punky Brewster came out, but I remember Punky Brewster was like, don't hide in refrigerators. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember that.
Shorty was playing hide and seek when she's in the refrigerator. Don't play in the refrigerator. Yeah. So back in the 80s, they try to put little lessons in their shows, yo, to go with the comedy. But
yeah. I mean, I hope Avery 412 says Janet Jackson was on Different Strokes for a minute.
She was Willis' girlfriend.
Oh, wow. Damn. Yo. Yeah. I must admit, man, Different Strokes was out for a while. It ran for like 6 seasons, but this was clearly in 1983 was when it was at its height, because I think the show started in 1979, so yeah, good stuff. But let me tell you, there's 2 other shows where this is on the campy side. We're gonna go to the action side of everything, man. So let's cue this up. I know you guys know about this. This show right here came out in 1983, man. Premiere episode came out in 1983, but actually the funny thing is the show actually started in 1982, but it didn't take off and reach its height until 1983. So this is when the show really became like, oh shit, what's this Knight Rider show? We all know Michael Knight, David Hasselhoff, crime fighter, uses this high-tech technology. So the car is called KITT, which means Knight Industries 2000. So that's what the car. It is virtually indestructible. Who wouldn't want this car? This was one of the hottest shows ever, yo. Love this fucking show, man. And did y'all know, which I didn't know, which was something I found out later, the light that was going in front of the car was supposed to, they used that on the show to make the car be like it was alive. So that was supposed to represent its heartbeat. Never knew that.
I thought it moved when he talked.
When he talked. Yeah, that was like the whole
thing. It moved anyway. The inside would move. When he would talk, the inside would move on the dashboard. The volumes would go up and down. But the piece on the front, always it moved regardless whether he was talking.
I need to
God, remember that.
I just thought every time he talked.
You say, remember that like this shit ain't 40 years ago.
But go ahead, man. Knight Rider. Do y'all remember this show? Did y'all love it?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it, yo. Can't lie. It's a little campy, but
was a little camp. You watch it nowadays, you're like, yeah, this shit kind of whack.
Yeah, but no,
the car, the
Kit,
show was about the car.
Yeah, the Kit was fine, yo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The show was about the car.
And David Hasselhoff, yo, he was an action star, yo. He was a heartthrob to the ladies.
The Hoff.
You know what I'm saying? He had the nice fro, taco meat.
The man got the hair, yo. Look at the hair.
Yeah, there you go.
He's covered up now. Man.
You know what I'm saying? So
you got the hair.
No, it was a good show.
There you go. Yeah, great show. Ollie, what's your thoughts on this?
It's all right. I mean, Knight Rider is definitely cool. Everybody loved Kit. You know, everybody wanted a talking car. So, I mean, I used to like it, man. I mean, like I said, this is probably, the 80s is not a good time for me, because as far as I watch these shows, but I don't even remember none of these joints, because I don't go back and watch Knight Rider. I mean, I remember Knight Rider. I know who Kid is and all that, but like, I don't go back and watch certain, like, it's got to be like a show I love to actually like go back and watch.
I'm not asking you to give a blow by blow, like you remember episodes and details. I'm just like, do you remember the shit?
And I said, yeah, motherfucker. Yes. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to tell you, man. Like,
well, do you remember this?
I'm gonna hang back these 80s.
Do you remember this? The 18.
I'm just gonna pull back off all these joints.
Do you remember the 18?
Yeah, I do know the 18 because I watched a whole lot of the 18.
All right, here we go, man. The 18.
Lot of the 18 growing up. Go ahead.
All right, here we go to the 18, man. Love this show. Premiered. This actually did premiere in 1983. Starring B.A. Barack, is better known as Mr. T. Hannibal, Face, and Murdoch, man. I'm not gonna lie. I got these action figures when I was a kid. I was so happy when I got these. I was so happy that Christmas when I got these action figures. I had a Mr. T action figure and a Murdoch. Oh man, I was on cloud fucking 9 when I got these, man. But I remember the 18. Phoenix, do you remember the 18? Did you love it?
Course,
you watched the show?
I love the 18. I think Mr. T stole the scene every single time, yo, because he ain't had too many. He had too many lines, but he used to fuck shit up, yo. I mean, I think this was probably one of the best ensembles on TV. I think this was. It was. I think everybody watched it. I don't just think men watched it. I mean, we loved it, but I think women watched it too. And I would give a shout out to the remake. The movie 18 wasn't as bad.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And it actually was cast really good with Liam Neeson,
it was
Jackson.
Yeah. What's the guy?
Bradley
Cooper played Face. Yeah. It was done very well.
So I mean, I think they could really redo the 18 if they got the right people. I think it's a good show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think they can. In this day and age, they could probably use modern technology and all that stuff.
Yeah. Because really, the concept of the A-Team is a group of military guys who get called to do that top. They're off the grid guys, but they're your regular off the grid guys that go take care of shit when nobody else can.
But they got exiled and shit. You know what I'm saying?
They got exiled from the army.
Yeah, it wasn't that they got called to.
From the military.
They didn't get called to really do anything. They'll just be, because since they're exiled, they'll be like boom, 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 time to time.
The military.
I mean, I guess after a while they got summoned, like they had their numbers or whatever. But the 18 was fire, man. Of course, B.A. Brock is classic. That motherfucker will fly for shit. I don't know how many times there's on motherfucking sleeping pills in his milk and shit, but he kept drinking it. And then of course, my favorite was fucking Murdoch, the crazy motherfucker. Murdoch was off the chain.
He's doing
bouncing off wall to wall, doing all types of stuff. I mean, you had Face, smooth, suave, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You need to make something happen. You need to have somebody talk to the lady at the front desk or some shit. You all just Face go in there, work his magic. And so, I mean, it is what it is. Like 18 was definitely like fire. They used to always MacGyver some shit up. Like they'd be fighting all the ranchers. So they'll motherfucker grab a tractor, motherfucker build a motherfucker shield around that shit. They have armor, all types of stuff. You know what I mean? And they always found guns and explosives from somewhere. Like they just found a way, yo. So saving one small town at a time.
Yeah. And what about that van, yo? That black van?
The 18 van, yo.
Man, I wanted that shit as a kid.
Yeah.
That shit was fire, yo. That shit was fire.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into some things now that came out when we was kids. Now, one of these things I was not into, but another one I really was into. So we're gonna get first into the thing I wasn't into, but really became this craze, man. It became really crazy in 1983. The Cabbage Patch doll craze in 1983. These are actual photos that I got a video of people going crazy and raiding stores and rioting to get fucking Cabbage Patch dolls in 1983, yo. But this was the beginning of the craze because Cabbage Patch was the shit for like 84, 85, 86. It went on for years, but it really did start in like 1983. And the craze was crazy, man. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but everybody was trying to get Cabbage Patch dolls. But the thing that I was really into was He-Man. He-Man premiered in 1983, man. I mean, if you don't know what He-Man is, Prince Adam holds the sword of power, says by the power of Grayskull transformed to He-Man, and he's doing it with the Battle Cat, Taylor Orko, Man-at-Arms, Skeletor, all these crazy cats. Love the show, love the cartoon. This really takes me back to my days, you know, growing up as a kid, man. I freaking love He-Man. That was my jam. That was my jam. And it was only out for 2 seasons, but it made a huge impact in my life as a kid growing up, man. And I had all the action figures and shit, and Castle Grayskull. I had it all, man. Did you have any of these toys? Did you remember He-Man? What's your thoughts, Phoenix?
Of course, yo. I had He-Man. My sister got Cabbage Patch Kids, yo. Like, it was crazy because, like, my mom and my dad, they were scouring everywhere to get her one, and she got one for Christmas.
The Cabbage Patch Kids. Yes, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was bonkers, yo. And then, you know, He-Man's He-Man, yo. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on He-Man. I had G.I. Joe Man. I had Castle Grayskull. I had the animal. What's the animal?
Battle
the
Cat.
Name? Battle Cat. I had Battle Cat.
Yeah.
Had Soldier at Arms, all that stuff.
Man at
Arms.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I like the cartoon. I thought the cartoon was good. I thought Skeletor was like always funny to me. You know what I'm saying? He talked shit all the time.
He talked shit. He was always losing.
Yeah. But it's funny though, like Cabbage Patch Kids was so big, yo, so big back in the day that they made the antithesis of them was the Garbage Pail Kids. You know what I'm saying? So it was all so funny with that, yo. I had all the stickers and all that shit. They had a dumbass, sorry ass movie that came out that was stupid, but
the movie was garbage.
They was fighting at Toys R Us over them dolls.
They were. Man. Those images I got is video. I just had to take a snapshot of the video, but people was going crazy at Toys R Us trying to get Cabbage Patch Kids. I mean, it was huge. I didn't. I had a cousin at the time. I know she wanted a Cabbage Patch Kid so fucking bad. I mean, I don't know how they got her one. But they finally got her one though. But yeah, He-Man was my jam, man. That was my shit. You remember Cabbage Patch Kids? It was He-Man your jam.
Man, if you stop, look, even though I don't like this stuff, you don't stop asking us, do we remember this shit? Like these small.
Yo, what are you on today? You got shit in your water today.
Yes,
Ollie done took shit out the toilet and to put it in his water, mixed that shit up and drank it because he is sitting on shit today. Y'all tell him, yo, get off his shit today. Y'all get him in the comments. Eat him, yo. Like Chris Brown did Quavo.
That was bad.
Yeah,
go ahead, Ollie. Go ahead.
But no, He-Man was definitely fire. Of course, everybody, you know, by the power of Grayskull and all that shit. Shout out to Shiva and but He-Man. I mean, like I said, I mean, star of the show always to me was Skeletor. Skeletor was just funny to me. So
yeah,
I used to fuck with Skeletor hard, even though he was trash. I mean, he got his ass whipped every episode, but it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta take them L's, yo. But he always knew he was coming back another day to fight it off. So, He-Man was fire. Master Arms. I used to like his suit.
Yeah. Somebody said the Kevin Smith remake was trash. It was. They haven't got He-Man right since it came out.
That shit was super trash.
How could you not get this right?
The movie was awful.
Oh, with Dolph Lundgren?
Oh.
Dog, that's probably one of the worst movies in history, and they were so serious about it.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Awful.
That shit was dumb, yo. They have that makes me mad because you have we got new X-Men out, so yeah, it's really good. It kind of harkens back to the previous.
Oh, the new X-Men cartoon?
Yeah. They have Batman movies that come out. You know what I'm saying? The cartoon movies that come out are really good. They haven't got He-Man right
They
one
haven't
time.
gotten it right. Yeah. Well, you know, and this is getting off a little subject. They recently just have a He-Man series out right now called He-Man Revolution or He-Man Revelation, done by Kevin Smith. It's good. I like it.
No, that's what they just they literally just said that shit was garbage.
This shit is not garbage. It is good.
That's what Pete all let off.
It's good.
You know, I
see, there have been 2 other He-Man iterations before Kevin Smith's. Those shits are bad. But this one, the Kevin Smith one, is good, man. I don't know.
Are you talking about the one where he gets killed and goes to the heaven with the Warriors?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I'm telling you. Well, you made it farther than me. You know, I made like 2 episodes. I was like, yo, this shit's trash. This shit is trash. I didn't never finish.
Somebody said it was hot garbage. Okay, well, I guess it's okay. Okay, Delvin. Hey, look, you know, to each his own, man. Look,
yeah,
hey,
I think like it. You know? I think you kind of stand alone on this one.
Because, I guess I am, man. I guess I am.
I don't think Netflix is inviting Kevin Smith back for more shit.
He got universally panned.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I really enjoyed it, man. I really enjoyed it. But hey, you know, it seems like I'm clearly outnumbered on this one. But this cartoon, I like though. I think we can all universally say I like this one. But I think we can also universally say some of the hottest music that came out in 1983 we did universally like. And one of them is this big time artist, man, right here named Michael Jackson. Album came out in 1983. The Thriller album, best selling album of all time. Dropped 7 singles from this album. 7 fucking singles. Breaking the most singles ever from an album to go into the top 10. And of course, it's the best selling album of all time and gave us one of the most iconic music videos that transformed the music video industry to this day with Thriller. Not to mention, he dropped Billie Jean, which was a really good video, and Beat It, which was a really good video. This album, fucking fire. Michael Jackson Thriller album. What else can I say, man? Phenom, what's your thoughts?
The best album ever made, yo. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I think front to back. I think the Bad album kind of rivals it, but I think Thriller is a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We've talked about it in the past, but Mike was on this shit. He was on top of the world. I think I think this album took him to the king of pop. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Off the Wall was great.
Yeah.
They solidified him as a solo artist. This put him to the next superstar realm. I think the Thriller video took him to the superstar realm. I think the Billie Jean video took him. Beat It. All them shits was like those 3 videos by themselves when they was playing on MTV took them to another stratosphere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was good music.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I mean, you said and right there. I'm just gonna start right here. I mean, this album is definitely probably one of the greatest albums of all. Not probably, it is one of the greatest albums of all time. You just look at this track list, like "Want to Be Starting Something," "Baby Be Mine." That's the only one I'm like, oh, "The Girl Is Mine" with Paul McCartney.
"Baby Be Mine," love that joint.
"Beat It," Billie Jean, "Human Nature," PYT, "The Lady of My Life." Like, dog, that was motherfucking. I don't even know what to call that. That's a motherfucking death row lineup. Like, is every one of those joints is a killer, yo. Like, dead ass. Like, it's hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. And not even just like hit like pop status hit. I mean, they're good songs. So, this is definitely one of the greatest albums ever. And it definitely spawned, to me, the greatest video ever. And Thriller itself, yo. So, I mean, Thriller, can't nothing top that to me.
One of the best choreographed moments in history. Everybody's still trying to do the dead man walk routine with the zombies and shit. I mean, come on, man. Thriller just did everything, and every other artist after that time period was like, oh shit, this is what we got to do to get to this level. And Mike was the shit. Brian Johnson, the Thriller album was released in November 29, 1982. That is correct. But the singles that we know of were in 1983. Beat It, Billie Jean, Thriller, all those major hit singles. But he's right. The album was released in 1982, but the singles that went to number 1 were in 1983. He released 7 singles in 1983. So that's why we're bringing it up in this time period, because the impact of Thriller was more important in 1983 than it was in 1982.
Yeah, because it was a tail end of 82. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But hey, facts is facts. It came out in 82, Corey. Okay.
Released in 1982. Okay, let me ask
you this. Corey with this one.
No, I'm fucking with you, Corey.
He dropped Billie Jean in
I agree with you, yo.
Okay, Billie Jean, Beat It, Thriller. Come on, yo. That's in 1983 alone, yo.
I didn't know this, yo. That joint cost $1 million in 83.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Yo.
So you know right now, that's probably about
what is that equivalent to today? That's like 25 million a day, maybe 30 million, maybe more than that.
But I'm gonna tell you, in the Thriller documentary, John Landis, the heralded filmmaker, he made National Lampoon's Animal House, Blues Brothers, American Werewolf in London. So that's when Michael Jackson was like, "Yo, I need somebody to do my makeup." John Landis did American Werewolf in London. Hence, that's how we got Michael Jackson in the wolf costume. And because the record company didn't want to pay for it. So Mike was like, nah, fuck that. We need to get him. And Mike got him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it took it to the next level, yo. Smart, very smart move, yo.
Yeah. But the video was so good with the transformation and everything that they had to do a making of Thriller so that people could, because kids like myself were scared to death when I watched the shit. I was scared when I watched it, yo. No lie. Zozo Bob said the Beat It guitar solo was by Eddie Van Halen, who did it for free.
Yep.
That is true. That is true. That was on the documentary. I mean, me and Phoenix seen. I don't know if you've seen the documentary, Ollie, but that documentary is fire. But he did. It just so happened, I think, that Van Halen was out of town.
We done talked about this.
That Ollie shitting again. Get him.
Nah, I'm just because I don't know if you've seen the documentary. Like, why would I see the documentary? When I tell you this is my favorite video all the time, and we've talked about this before on the channel.
Talking about your favorite video is different than a documentary.
We had a whole Thriller anniversary joint, and we talked about it for an hour.
We talked about the part with Van Halen. He did it for free.
No, you just said, and they had a documentary.
Okay. That's what he just read. Once again, everybody, Ollie is shitting today because he's arguing about something.
All right, Phenom, what did you say? What did you say?
What Corey said?
The comment was he did it for free.
So
he said they had a documentary about it. Did you know? Did you see it, Ollie?
No,
it wasn't a
documentary about I did it for free, and you interrupted me because you were shitting again. Get off your shit, man.
I'm not gonna be quiet. I'm good.
Y'all are catching live family shit here, so it's all good. Trust me, we're not going to break up. This is not the Fat Boys. We're still going to be together next week.
Does the Fat Boys break up?
And now it's over. And now this. Go ahead, Pete. What are you saying?
Let me say this though, because all right, so we've talked about Michael Jackson. Yo, can I bring up an artist show? Because this artist I'm about to bring up is, I don't know if it's in your show notes, Corey, but it was in my show notes. Madonna came out in 83, yo. I'm gonna go on record and say Madonna is probably the best female artist of all time. And I'll argue with anybody about that. Because in the 80s, nothing but hits. She was the it girl in everything.
Yeah.
Every song she came out with in 83 crushed the charts. 84.
Straight.
Crushed 85. Up until like 90 something, she was that girl. You know what I'm saying? And I will argue somebody could throw out a name here and there. Madonna, yo. That was my favorite.
I wouldn't
artist
argue with that
of the 80s, and currently her dog. She's the GOAT. Like, go look at her catalog.
Yeah, I mean, Just Forever Your Girl. I mean, Like a Virgin. Too many on her very first album to even name. I mean, she was the shit because everybody started to dress like Madonna. She started a whole fashion trend in the 80s that lasted for quite a while. I wouldn't argue against you, Phoenix, about being the best female artist of all time. I mean, now there have been other female artists that have probably sold a lot of records, like, you know.
I'm not even talking about records. I'm talking about
I'm talking about the artists.
Style,
artists. I could go with that. Yeah, because selling records is one thing. Being an artist is another, and I could go with that. Best artist of all time. Yeah, I can go with that. I agree with that. Damn.
So I'm
She came out
looking at
1983.
Lucky Star,
Wow.
Borderline, Burning Up, Holiday.
Oh, Borderline. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Holiday. Woof.
Holiday.
Damn.
Yeah, that's 80. That's 83.
That's 83. We ain't even got to like a Virgin yet.
Nope.
Which
that
is,
was 84.
later in the 80s.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in 2 weeks. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. But we talk about 2 weeks. Well, damn, you brought up Madonna. Well, look, these are some other big hits in 1983. Unfortunately, I didn't put Madonna on this list, but they're worth recognizing. So these were some big hits in 1983. Flashdance, the song "What a Feeling" because of the movie. So that song peaked at number 1 on Billboard. Yeah. Yep. Irene Cara. So that was really big. I think the movie and the song kind of were in tandem with each other, help the movie and the song simultaneously. Duran Duran was really big in 1983. We did a reaction to the song on the channel, Hungry Like the Wolf. So which actually peaked at number 3 on Billboard in 1983. And Prince comes out with his first chart-topping single, Little Red Corvette, peaked at number 6. So his first time getting into the top 10 on Billboard, which the song still bang today. And then, of course, after this, we get the other album, which is Purple Rain, which comes a little later. But this is the beginning of Prince, man. I know these songs. Hungry Like the Wolf, never knew Duran Duran did that until we did the reaction. But yeah, I know all these songs, man. But
yeah,
they didn't make the list. You know these songs, though. I'm sure you know these songs,
Oh, yeah. I mean, Flashdance, Irene Cara was like my dad's super crush back in the day. It was crazy, yo.
Yeah.
But Irene Cara, somebody also brought up DC Cab. She did a song for DC Cab. DC Cab came out in 83.
Mr. T was in DC Cab.
She was in DC Cab. She made a cameo in DC Cab, yo.
Oh, snap. Okay.
That came out in 83 as well. But no, Flashdance, I mean, it's a good movie. I think it spawned 2 songs. Flashdance and She's a Maniac. Both those
She's
songs
a maniac. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
When she just dancing on her feet and all that shit. Yeah. She's a maniac. Damn.
Yeah, right. Duran. I mean, Hungry Like the Wolf is a great song. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Loved it. So yeah.
Definitely.
And Prince, we ain't gonna talk about Prince. Prince is the GOAT, yo.
I mean, Prince is the shit. I mean, this is the beginning of his greatness, even though he had 1999, which is a great song. It just didn't hit the top 10, but this is his second single got to the top 10. But 1999 is a damn good song too, though. There's a lot of great songs. I mean, I didn't know this. Melly Mel White Lines came out in 1983. I didn't know that. We got that from Pittsburgh Toddy 86. So okay, well, not bad.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, man. Ali, anything?
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, Little Red Corvette's definitely a classic. Yeah, Little Red Corvette. Like, you know what I mean? So shout out to Prince for doing that with the Duran Duran. I mean, we did that reaction because I wasn't familiar with that particular song. Hungry Like a Wolf. It was all right. The video was funny as fuck, so I ain't gonna lie. So I enjoyed it. And of course, Flashdance. I think we got a reaction to the Flashdance too, like that last scene.
Final scene.
The final scene, yeah.
I mean, you want nothing but small town girl working the steel mill, with a dream, and she made it happen.
Yeah, and I think everybody, at least the girls in the 80s, was trying to do that cut off top of the sweatshirt. Make sure they can have that shank hanging off the shoulder. That became the style.
Jennifer Biel had it going on, yo. She was a looker, yo.
She was doing her thing, man. I ain't gonna lie. Another thing that was doing, so you're doing your thing at Jennifer Looker. I mean, look, if you play a song, you definitely want to make out with her. So we're going to go to the makeout song of 1983. The makeout song of 1983, Baby Come to Me by Patty Austin and James Ingram. Now, look, I got to give y'all some background on this song. This song was originally released in 1982. So, Brian, you're going to get me there. But this is the thing. It didn't chart in 1982. So what happened is that they started playing this song in 1983 on General Hospital when a particular character would come on screen, and everybody kept calling into the station, what the fuck is that song? What's that song? What's that song? Warner Brothers kept hearing that, and they were like, well, damn, let's just release the song again. When they re-released it in 1983, it shot to the top of the charts. So sometimes when they say 3 times a charm, well, 2 times a charm for this one. Because the first time it didn't even chart. Second time it went straight up to the top 10, man. So there you go. I didn't know that this song charted that high, but it clearly did. I know this song. It's a great song.
It charted on Billboard.
It charted on Billboard. It went to number one
not
on Billboard.
Not R&B, like regular Billboard.
Number one on the Billboard Hot 100 charts in 1983.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I just thought black people listen to this song. I grew up on this song. Baby, come to me.
Yeah, baby, come to me when I put my arms around you. Yeah. Oh, this shit. And look at James Ingrid. He looked like he about to bite that microphone off.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's into it in this song, though. You gotta give it to him. But anyway, I don't know if you've heard this song, because you're not really into the R&B, though.
Yeah, I'm not really too familiar with this, so I'll just let y'all talk. I'm sure maybe if I hear it, I probably would know if it reached number one. I'll probably know if I hear it. But I'm not familiar with their work.
It's a good song. It's a good song, real good song. And you might not have heard that, but I know you heard about this. Motherfucking Delirious, man.
Yes.
Now, look, we'd all heard about this, man. Eddie Murphy Delirious. Comedy stand-up special aired on HBO in 1983. Honestly, HBO has been out for a long time, but this aired on HBO in 1983. This stand-up received extremely positive reviews and was known as the predecessor to the theatrical release that came later, Eddie Murphy Raw. Look, this was like the beginning of Eddie Murphy at like his best. Raw, uncut, cussing, nasty. It wasn't the typical Saturday night PG stuff. We got Eddie Murphy really raw in this, and I didn't see this in 1983 because I was too young to see it, but I did see it later. Now, some of my friends saw this in 1983. I'm sorry, not in 1983, when I was in the 5th grade, and I didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. Talking about,
Goonie Goo Goo.
Yeah, they were talking about so much. I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? They had watched Eddie Murphy Delirious. I didn't even know it. Unfortunately, I didn't watch Eddie Murphy Delirious until I was like 16 years old, way later. But this was comedy gold here. Yes. I know you've seen the Phenom. I can tell by the way you laughing.
Of course, so I mean, I've seen everything Eddie Murphy, but the ice cream, hamburger, you know what I'm saying? Goonie Goo Goo.
Yeah, we got some ice cream. You did it.
You did good. But I would say this though. This is the thing about Delirious. I think Delirious was good. I think he was raw in this, meaning like, I think when Raw came out, he was already seasoned comedian. He had different swagger back then. Yeah. This is him testing his comedic chops, getting in the water, first comedy special. And then Raw, he was already seasoned. He already was on his shit. In movies, he's popular as hell. So I think this one is a great performance. I think the jokes are memorable, and here you go with that. He has a red suit on this one.
You got the Raw, red leather on this one,
It was purple one in Raw, but this was a good stand-up, yo. Yeah, this solidified him as a one of the up and comers, yo.
Yeah, one of the greats, man. I definitely the king of modern day comedy, man. Ali, what about you?
Yeah.
I know you seen
I mean, I've seen this like 1,000 times. Man. I mean, my cousin used to show me all these joints, so shout out to cousin Derek. But yeah, I mean, definitely one of the greats. I mean, one of the goats of the comedy. Like y'all already talked about everything: the ice cream, the hamburger. You know, man, those hey, McDonald's hamburger. You know what I mean? You make an egg with muffins type shit. So, I mean, yeah, I've seen this a million times forward and backwards, yo.
Yeah. So, Chicago Cubs asks, which one is better?
I think it is better than Raw. Honestly, y'all hate me. Raw is funny. Raw ain't that super funny to me. It's got funny parts, but it ain't like super funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I think because, like I said, I think Eddie Murphy was already known. I think he just got out there. His swagger was just different.
Yeah.
And when Raw came out, Delirious was just like, I think he went more into his family. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about his growing up, and like I said, the jokes about being poor and I ain't got no McDonald's money. Hey, mom, that has a big onion on it.
Yeah.
So
that shit was funny.
It's great. You know what I'm saying? I think Eddie Murphy, and we say it all the time. I mean, it's like every time we talk about how good Eddie Murphy is.
Yeah.
It's like, because we're in the 80s. We will talk about him 84, 85, 86, 87, 88.
Mm-hmm.
He was everywhere. And, I don't know if there's a comedian nowadays who can do this. I mean, people say Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart's not everybody's cup of tea. even though he's in everything.
Yeah.
He has TV shows, he had movies, stand-ups, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he always brags about being the highest grossing comedian when it comes to like movies, comedic shows. Like, so he broke like Raw and Live at the Sunset Strip by Richard Pryor and all that stuff. But it's not this. I can't name one Kevin Hart joke off the top of my head. I can't name really too
absolutely
many
not.
comedians. And I watch comedy shows.
Yeah, me too.
So I watch stuff. I love comedy, but it's nothing like this. And this is
I
not
agree.
me being an old man standing on my front lawn type shit. This is just real shit.
Yeah. The thing, I mean, Kevin Hart probably the closest you can get to because the exposure that Kevin Hart, he's in everything. But there's Eddie Murphy could do both very well. He's doing Saturday Night Live skits. He's killing it at the box office in the movies, and he's killing at stand-up. Kevin Hart can't do all three. And Kevin Hart can't do impressions.
In this movie, he's a caricature. He's not like...
Exactly. Eddie Murphy can actually play a role in a movie and make it his own and be funny or serious if he wants to be. Kevin Hart is just playing a character the whole time. And also, Kevin Hart's stand-up can't touch Eddie Murphy's stand-up within a 10-foot pole, not even fucking close. And you're right. I can't name one really funny Kevin Hart moment, and he's done thousands of stand-ups. Thousands.
Look, I will say this. I'll take that back. There's one joke that stands out with Kevin Hart that I love. Is when he was like, he came off of school and his mama told him he can cuss out the teacher. He's like, the teacher said this. He's like, well, tell that teacher, mind your motherfucking business, bitch. And he went to school and said that. That's the only one I remember. Other than that, no. But also somebody said, like Karen said, his mocking of the Guido Italian dudes is hilarious.
Yes.
If you haven't checked it out on our channel, go to This Is It Reactions. There's a little microscope right there. You can type in Eddie Murphy. You'll see the joke when Italians watch Rocky. The Rocky joke is one of the funniest shits in the whole world. And it's funny though, like, because when we did it, I didn't know what kind of reactions we would get, but we got a whole bunch of people like, yeah, that's how it was. That's how they said, I'm Italian, and that's how we thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They thought after you watch Rocky, you can whip on Italians. I mean, Italian person can beat somebody's ass, yo. Didn't work out that way.
One of the best comedy bits that ever. Because he's doing that Italian accent, and I wouldn't dare try because I can't do it. But he's doing that Italian accent, like, what the fuck in the movie? You know, I mean, what the fucking, I mean, he's like the fucking Rocky, on the fucking Rocky. He's doing the Italian accent. It's so fucking hilarious because they watch Rocky and all of a sudden they think they can beat the world. That's what makes Eddie Murphy so good, man. Kevin Hart can't do no impressions and shit, but Eddie Murphy is killing it because he's already come out with 48 Hours. He's on Saturday Night Live. I mean, look, he came out with Trading Places earlier in the year, and then he dropped Delirious too. This guy's fucking 83 gold right now, yo. He killing it, man. I mean, he couldn't do no wrong. So Eddie Murphy, classic, yo. I mean, and these are like clips of him doing his shit, man. Funky red dress suit. Now that red leather is hot. Yeah, I know he had to be sweating in that shit. So we go to the hottest babes of 1983. And you guys let me know if you agree or disagree. So here we go. Now, the first one on the left, look, this is just the rankings. I don't make this shit up, but this is just the rankings. You get this shit from? I got it. I got it from a valuable source.
Okay, all right, whatever.
I got it from VH1. So they say that the babes in 19, the one on the far left, I'm kind of like, I don't know, but she played in 007 that year. So they got her rank. Her name is Maud Adams. 007, of course, Vanity. I agree with that. 1983. Okay. Christy Brinkley from, National Lampoon's Vacation, and Rebecca De Mornay. She was in she was in Tom Cruise's film. Damn, what the hell was that shit called?
Cocktail?
No.
It was Risky Business.
Risky Business. She was in Risky Business that year.
Yeah.
So these are the hottest babes of 1983. Definitely the ones on my list are the two in the middle. Christy Brinkley and clearly Vanity. I mean, that's
those are the two I know. Right. I mean, Vanity. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, come on, man. Vanity is
Vanity. And Christy Brinkley is so funny. Like, she was the it girl. She was a pinup. She was a model. She was everything. And Billy Joel bagged her, yo. Check out our channel. I will be sitting here plugging all our videos. Uptown Girl. No,
Old ass Billy Joel.
Yeah, he wasn't old back then, but he 5'3" and she's 6 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he can stand on his money and talk to her.
That's right. He can stand on his money and talk to her, yo. Uptown Girl. That's right. She was in the video. Uptown Girl. Yeah, that's right. Shout out to Karen bringing that up. Yeah, that's right. She was in the video. Sorry, we got that. Ali, anything on this list stand out to you?
No, I mean they're all fire, yo. I mean, of course, Vanjie, definitely a hot girl. Prince put on. Kristen Brinkley, I mean, she was around forever, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. And really shorty on the end from Risky Business. I mean, she was bad in Risky Business, she had everybody wanting her. So it is what it is.
Yeah, because she was the prostitute. Well, the call girl or whatever, because he was playing a pimp in the movie. So yeah, that's right. The Hunks of 1983. Now I know 3 of these guys. I don't know the guy on the left, but look, I'm getting this from VH1, man. It's a valuable source. It's a valuable source right now. So Lee Horsley, he's from like a soap opera. Of course, you got Rob Lowe. We all know Rob Lowe. Marvin Gaye, because Sexual Healing was really big in 1983. He won a couple of Grammys and awards off that. And Harrison Ford from Return of the Jedi. Han Solo. So there we go. Somebody said He-Man should have been on the list.
I know, yo. You hold on. Last week you put Barney on the list.
Yeah, you're right.
You put Tootsie on the list one time. Yo, He-Man should have been up there.
Yo, I should have had He-Man on the list, yo. You right, yo. Because the way this guy's biceps is, yo, he got leg muscles. He got, He-Man should have been on the list, man. He-Man should have been on the list, man. I mean, next, that's a good one, Brandon. So now we're gonna go to the Miss and Ms. in 1983. It ain't no secret. Michael Jackson had the Thriller album in 1983, and Vanity gets the Mr. and Ms. in 1983, man. So there you go. That's our recap of 1983 as far as some things. Now, look, I want to tell y'all. There's so much stuff that went down in 1983. We can't get to it all. We're going to do a part 2 and a part 3 of this series. So y'all stick around, man. We're not going to go anywhere, for that. But you guys have definitely put some great stuff in the chat here. Let me see. James Brolin. B-Dubs said James Brolin. What did he play in B-Dubs? I'm not sure.
That's
Thanos.
What's the Thanos brother? I mean Thanos daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right, Josh Brolin is his son. James Brolin.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you've seen him before. He looked just like that motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Well, you guys have laid out some great things in the chat here, man. Josh's dad. Thank you, Devin. Thank you. Appreciate that because I had no clue.
From Hotel.
No clue.
Hotel back in the day.
Yeah, I had no clue. Well, look, man. Anything you guys want to say before we end this show here today?
Yeah, I do because I there's one movie somebody brought up earlier that we didn't get to, and this movie came out in 1983. It gets played 24 hours a day on Christmas Day. It's fucking Christmas Story, yo.
Christmas Story came out in 1983.
Dog.
You shoot your eye out, kid.
Dog, that movie is one of the greatest movies ever made.
I would agree.
I mean, I watch it every year, yo, and I've seen it a million times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Red Ryder BB gun, him doing the little puzzle, and it says "Drink your Ovaltine."
Yeah.
Him
he was getting all those little orphan Annie codes, thinking he was going to get something.
Yeah. His dad bought the lamplight. Mama was pissed with that. He broke the shit.
She broke it on purpose.
It is crazy because, like you said, that movie they play that 24/7 for like 2 days straight.
Yeah, it's definitely
a classic,
man.
It's a classic. It ranks up there to me.
The dare when the dude stuck his tongue on the pole.
Triple dog dare.
The triple dog dare, the dare of all dares. He's like, I double dare you. He's like, I triple dog dare you, man. That shit was funny.
You think that was like the first voiceover that you can remember in a movie or a TV show?
That was the first one that I can remember that was like an illustrator through the movies. Yeah, that was the first one I can remember. Yeah,
I mean, later on in the Wonder Years.
Then later on, I heard others, when I was growing up, like Stand By Me and stuff like that. But yeah, Christmas Story was probably the first one because it was funny, man. Yeah, it was funny. Classic movie. Too many funny parts to even name. You'll shoot your eye out, kid, when he sees Santa Claus and he can't quite get the words out, and then he throws them down the sled and he stops himself, and then he turns around and was like, I want the red rifle, BB gun. And
everybody say, you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Or when he knocks the nails, his dad is changing the tire and he says, oh, fuck. And it comes out, oh, fudge. Oh, fudge. He said, but not fudge. You know the one, the big one. Yo, that shit was funny, yo.
Yeah, and
he ratted on Sports. Yeah,
ratted on Sports. He beat up the bully, and he was caught cussing. His mama came.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
And the last thing before we get out, because this is probably, you said He-Man, but somebody put G.I. Joe. I just looked it up. G.I. Joe came out in 1983, the cartoon.
Yes.
Now I'm a G.I. Joe person over anything. You know what I'm saying? Like from action figures to G.I. Joe the movie. Can't wait to get to 87. That's when they came out. I love that movie.
G.I. Joe the movie?
They're supposed to make a remake, yo.
Really? Because the movies have been trash.
Yeah, but the first one is not trash though. The one where when the weather jump broke up on the different parts.
You talking about the one with Marlon Wayans?
No, I'm talking about the cartoon. I ain't talking about the
the cartoon.
I like
the cartoon
Marlon Wayans. I think the movie with Marlon Wayans was all right.
No.
Yeah, I didn't. The first one I thought was okay.
That was not. That was not.
But as far as the cartoon, I had
the cartoon movie. I like.
I had every G.I. Joe man imaginable. I had
the new ones.
I had the big pterodome.
Yeah,
like I said, this with the little spaceship in the middle of the shit. I had the GI. I had everything.
You had the pterodome? Get the fuck out of here! Oh shit!
I got that shit for my 6th birthday.
Oh yes, wow, man, that's incredible. I never had any of the big things like the aircraft carrier or any of that. The planes. I never had any. I had the small stuff, but I got plenty of action figures like Shipwreck, Roadblock, Duke. Quick Kick, you name them, Storm Shadow. I mean, all the important ones, Barbecue, Deserts. I mean, Bazooka. Bazooka was probably my favorite. Him and Alpine.
He had the football jersey on.
He had the football jersey on. He used to always shoot the bazookas. Bazooka was probably my favorite. And Shipwreck was probably my favorite because Shipwreck was always just cracking jokes. But my best looking G.I. Joes, of course, were Storm Shadow and Snake Eye. Those
that's everybody. But also,
got those though.
You keep saying you like the Joes. You got to think about Cobra too, because I had Tomax and Zaymont, and on the Zaymont
guard,
he had the scar on his
Yes. I had
the Crimson Guard, the red joint. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have Destro?
Of course, I had Destro. I had Serpentor. I had all
Serpentor, yeah.
Cobra like, I collected them. The way I did my kid, like my son used to love, he was a super wrestling fan. So he had every wrestling man. He had like 100 wrestling men. Like every time with the Target Walmart, he got wrestling men. They was like $9.99 at the time. So I was the same way with G.I. Joe. And I used to love reading the back of the G.I. Joe joint to see where everybody was from.
Yes.
And all that stuff, yo. Yeah.
That was a good stuff. Oh,
Sergeant Slaughter, yo, he was bigger than the rest of them, yo. He was a little taller than all of the G.I. Joe, yo.
He used to kick everybody ass. You knew when Sergeant Slaughter showed up on the scene, it was a wrap. Like the dude, he was probably he was a really good one that they introduced into the Joes, Sergeant Slaughter. That kind of took his career to another level.
I mean, he was a wrestler.
Yeah, it took him to a whole nother level. Yeah. Zartan from Chicago Cubs, man. You remember? I remember Zartan. He used to change color in the light.
The dreadlocks, yo.
The dreadnoughts.
Was the dreadnoughts.
Yeah, the dreadnoughts. Yeah, that was. You gotta admit, yo, G.I. Joe's was a pretty good cartoon, and it tackled a lot of serious subjects. Yo,
Warrior knows half the
man,
battle.
people are starting to name some characters here, man. Brandon Jones named Leatherneck. I'm trying to think of Leatherneck. Who was Leatherneck?
He was a Marine dude. He had the Marine outfit.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God. How did I forget Leatherneck? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a big crush on Lady J and the Baroness when I was they were my two that I had a big crush on them growing up. But Baroness definitely, she was just too fly. Yeah. Man. Damn. G.I. Joe was a shit. But the one thing about G.I. Joe, it never mattered how many times they were shooting them laser guns, nobody got hit ever.
Nah, ever. And that's why I wish to make a live action with like geared towards us. G.I. Joe is not for the young kids no more. I mean, my kids probably never played with a G.I. Joe. They don't know what a G.I. They might have seen the movie, like the newer movie. But I think us growing up now, they can harken back. I want to see some more violence in it. I want to see a darker, like G.I. Joe story. You know what I'm saying? I would appreciate it. I think somebody should do it.
Well, it kind of got dark in the movie. I think that's probably why you like the movie so much, because the movie took a darker tone compared to the comics. I mean, that's where we get our first death, actually. Well, sort of.
Who died in it? Oh, dude. Snake Eyes died in the comics too.
But yeah, in the comics. I'm talking about death on actual screen, because the whole time in the movie they had you thinking Duke was dead until the very end in the last scene where Doc calls into everybody and said, "Hey, guess what? Duke's going to make a full recovery." We're like, okay. Nobody knew that the whole time. But yeah, it was a good movie, man. It was one of my favorites because I think that came out right after Transformers the movie came out. I think Transformers the movie and that came out kind of around the same time. Or it might have been because this movie came out in 1987.
The G.I. Joe movie came out in 87. The cartoon started in 83.
So the Transformers the movie came out in 86, I think.
86,
but I don't quote me on that. But yeah, man, this was great, man. I'm glad you brought that up. So, like I said, everybody, we're going to do multiple parts, because they're going to be part 2 and 3 of this. So G.I. Joe will definitely be on the next one talking about, because there's
I'm actually do this, Corey, because
Tomac and Zaymot. Oh,
you just said you just watched the first Godfather for the first time last week.
I did. I finally watched the first Godfather all the way through for the first time this week. At the end of last week.
What did you think?
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was fucking fantastic. I was in the first 10 minutes of the movie because they get you sitting in this dark room with Don Corleone sitting there talking. And I got the sense of how powerful he was, how this guy was the shit. And he hadn't even killed anybody yet. But everybody was approaching him with his problems. And this shit was so good. I fucking loved it. I loved it. I didn't think he died in it. I didn't know he died in it.
Yeah, he died. He had a heart attack.
Anybody hadn't seen it, but yeah.
If you ain't seen The Godfather right now, like Corey, I'm sorry, yo. But yeah, he died playing with his grandkid. He died the way a mobster wants to die with his family.
Because he got gunned down pretty bad, but still survived though. You got he had this thing. I got a proposition.
He's like, he don't want everybody to retaliate. But no, I mean, when Luca Brasi got killed, but I say all that. I know you say you watched The Godfather, but I'm gonna task you because somebody brought up a movie, and this is
I'm watching Godfather 2 right now, and I'm halfway through.
It's great. Godfather 2 is better.
Yeah,
I think so. But they keep bringing up what's the movie? The Outsiders. You said
great.
You said you've never seen The
Outsiders. I never seen The Outsiders. Yeah, that's another one I haven't seen.
I'm gonna task you to watch that one.
I gotta watch The Outsiders. Yeah,
because it has the who's who of Hollywood, like young teenagers, like you got Patrick
you got Swayze, Ralph Macchio, Patrick Swayze,
the Matt Damon,
everybody,
Tom Cruise. Yeah. It's one of the best movies ever made. Has one of the best lines ever made. Stay golden, Pony Boy. You got to watch it.
Yeah,
you got to watch it.
Unfortunately, I just grew up in an area where, I just wasn't near a lot of movie theaters, and we didn't get cable until I was like late in my. It was late by the time we got cable, so I just never got a chance to get around to seeing it. But I blame it on cable. But now I don't have a reason not to see it because I can pull that shit up on anything now, man.
And it's not a long movie at all, but it's a great movie. You know what I'm saying? It just shows like the Matt C. Thomas Howell, who plays Ponyboy, him and his crew. They poor. They fight the rich people. The rich people had a gang called, I think they're like straight. So something, I can't remember what they were. But they just beef, and then something happens that changes alters everybody's life, yo. The greasers and the socks. That's what it was. They were straight edge people called the greasers and the socks.
Okay.
The socials, like social, not socks, social. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thank you, Abri. This is how you say it, Abri. I'm glad I'm not alone, man, because I do be missing the big ones. I do be missing the big ones. So I'm glad I'm not alone, man. I'm glad I'm not alone because I'm catching up on The Godfather because I've never seen it. I just finished watching Godfather. I'm working on Godfather 2. I'm about halfway through. So now I gotta watch The Outsiders. Yeah, I got a couple of joints in the tank I gotta watch, man. No lie. Man, this was good though.
But before we go, I want to start plugging this every week because we're super Game of Thrones fans, super House of Dragon fans. It starts up in a couple months. If you haven't watched it, please watch it because we're going to talk about it. And if after you watch it, if you want to watch it, if you never watched it, watch it episode by episode. Check out our reactions. We got a breakdown of every episode. House of Dragon, one of the best shows that's coming back. So we got to plug that so we can talk about that. Yo, we want y'all to
definitely plug that, man. And before we go, I do have one more comment. And Phoenix, I think you'll appreciate this because you're a wrestling fan. Ollie, you're a wrestling fan as well. Starrcade 1983 with the NWA, Ric Flair versus Harley Race and steel cage match. A Flair for the gold. I was too young to watch this, but I love the NWA and Starrcade was like the WrestleMania of the NWA. That was like the Starrcade was the shit. Everything
I think
it
came on TBS because it came on
regular
TV.
At the time. It came on regular TV. Yeah, it came on regular TV. From what I can remember, it used to come on at night, and then they started pushing it towards the day. Because that's when I got into it, when they started pushing it more into the day, and I was able to watch it on Saturday. But I think this is probably around like 1985, 86, because I got into NWA right probably a year and a half before Sting got there. So I was there with the Road Warriors and the Four Horsemen and Arn Anderson and all of them and Telly Blanchett and Barry Windham. And then Sting came, and then they had that match with Sting and Ric Flair because he was the shit, and Lex Luger. So I was there with Dusty Rhodes and all them. So yeah, Starrcade was the shit, man. That was huge. Starrcade was the shit.
Man,
four of
the 5 Starrcades, Ric Flair headline. He fought Harley Race in 83, Dusty Rhodes in 84, Dusty Rhodes again in 85.
Wow.
Nikita Koloff in 86. So
Nikita Koloff.
Yeah. Hey,
do you know?
Bad. And Ronnie Garvin in 87. So 88. Yeah, he did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 headlines for the Starrcade. So Ric Flair was in his bag.
The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, man. He was on top, yo. And do you know that Nikita Koloff wasn't even Russian? He wasn't really a Russian. Nah, he came out and said he wasn't a Russian. He just played that character, but I thought he was Russian, but he wasn't. He wasn't even close to being Russian, yo. I think he was born in Tennessee or something, you know.
Yeah,
so,
he's down. I thought like Minnesota or some shit, yo. But
yeah, it was somewhere like that. Chicago Cubs said Starrcade was a pay-per-view event. Yeah, I think it probably. I would say so because I don't remember seeing it on regular TV. But I remember
some reason I thought it was. I can't remember. It must have been another.
Starrcade was like their WrestleMania. Yeah, it wasn't a regular.
Yeah, it was like their WrestleMania NWA. Yeah.
I can't remember, yo.
Road Wars was big at this time. I mean, NWA. Look, you're talking to some wrestling fans here, you know. So we were all in. In '83, I'm a little too young, because Russell, I know about it, but I don't know it like that. But I definitely got into wrestling probably right around in 85. Right around in 85, I think that's when I really started hitting like, oh shit, this is a big thing. Because I can't remember what year WrestleMania came out. If it was the first WrestleMania, it was 84, 85. But either way, that's when I really started knowing more about wrestling. But yeah, man, this was good, man. yeah, man, you guys, thank you guys so much, man. As always, you guys always coming through, and trust me, we'll get into all of this stuff. We have so many more segments because honestly, with all the stuff that came out in 1983, we could be here for hours talking about this.
I ain't gonna lie,
man.
you. I thought 83 was going to kind of be one of them years. Like I saw the show notes, so I was like, ain't nothing really standing out, yo. But no, actually,
83 got a lot of stuff in it, man. Yeah, it got a lot of stuff, man. So shout out to Chicago Cubs, Kay, Brandon, Delvin. Thank you guys so much. Karen, as always, Misty, Avery. I really do hope I'm saying your
we got
name
some,
right.
yeah, we had a couple new people joining, yo.
Yeah, we do, man. And thank you guys for joining, man. B-Dubs, as always. Brandon always got some good things to say. Chicago Cubs, as always. I mean, look, we got some new people on the chat. I'm sorry if we can't get through all of them, but this has been great, man. This has been great. Thank you guys so much. Hey, man, I guess that we're going to end it right there, man. As always, thank you guys so much, man. We're going to end this stream. Don't forget to check us out next Wednesday. We'll be doing 1993, and then we'll be back the week after that to 1984. But so we're going to keep doing this. I love the 80s and I love the 90s thing. Thank you guys so much, man. And we out. Peace.
Peace.